we were talking a little bit off the pod about your background in school. You're somebody that started at an NAIA school and wound up transferring to Belmont. Um, but as we were talking off the pod, schools almost kind of become a little bit irrelevant in that overseas basketball at all different levels, whether it's the lower level leagues or all the way up to like Euro League, which is basically like the best league outside of the NBA in the world. You get this weird collection of schools where sometimes you'll see some people like, oh, they went to a Power Five or a mid major such as Belmont. But you'll also see some NIAI presence or Division 2 or Division 3. If we could kind of go back to before we were recording and kind of talk a little bit about that, just to kind of continue that conversation about like what you've seen and kind of what your observation of that has been.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's always pretty interesting. Of course, I went to a NAIA school for 2 years, and I transferred to Belmont for my last 2 years, which is, Belmont. When I was there in 2007, they had just made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time. So it was a much different program than it is now. It's still a mid major, but when I first got there, man, it was basically brand new mid major. I don't think anybody would have had them on their radars professionally. And like I said, I don't think it was a worldwide. I don't think it was a U.S. wide like known name. They had only made it to the tournament just the year prior to me getting there, so that was the first time they made it to the tournament. So, I don't think it was a very popular mid-major that people would name drop. So I went to a small school, but man, of my teammates, man, you really just never know. I've seen some guys from the biggest schools, the North Carolinas, the Dukes. I've seen those guys, the McDonald's All-Americans, and then I've seen guys from Division 3 schools, Division 2 schools, Division 3 schools that I myself had never even heard of. But I think if I was to say, how much name of your college mattered overseas, me personally, I wouldn't say it mattered very much.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. I've often kind of, spoke with my wife about it before as to what would have been better if I would have stayed at my NAIA school and kind of broke records there, or transferring to Belmont, just to kind of weigh it out as to what would have carried more weight. And if I'm being honest, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. Overseas wise. Now, I think in the States, that would have made a difference if I would have been going to the NBA or something like that. I think it would have made a very big difference. But just in Europe, I don't think it would have made a big difference.